Hunters, and welcome to episode 5 of Prototype. This episode marks the halfway point of this series, which is really crazy to think about. Before today's episode, we're going to be checking out a prototype of probably one of the coolest prototype animatronics I have seen. This guy right here is called Dr. Needles, and he comes from a couple years ago, and I really wish they would have sold this guy in stores because he looks awesome. But of course, before we talk more about this prop, let's check out a demo video of him because a hunter actually has the prototype of this animatronic. So let's check out that video. And that right there, of course, is the official demo of the Dr. Needles prototype animatronic, which, yeah, I've just got to say, this guy is awesome. I really do love the look of him. He looks creepy, like his face there with the big goggles and the mask and everything is already pretty creepy. But then his, like, weird glove he has on with, like, the glowing tips. It's just really creepy. His, like, clothing is also, like, just plain, but it does have that creepy doctor-ish look to it. So yeah, definitely a great prop and one that I'm excited to talk about today. Of course, like we do at the start of every episode, let's talk a bit about some stuff we know about this animatronic, and then we'll get more to talk about some other stuff about the prop. So of course, this guy is known as Dr. Needles. There isn't any other known names of this prop. And if this guy were to be sold, he would be sold in between 2020 and 2022. They originally came up with the idea for this guy in 2020, but unfortunately, it didn't really get into the final phases of production. But it did also become considered for an actual prop in 2021 and 2022 again. But ultimately, after each year, just kept getting rejected. So they never ended up actually bringing the concept into stores, which does really suck. I do kind of want to think that they didn't necessarily have this guy in stores for 2020 because of COVID-19 and stuff. But it could be a completely different reason. I might be off on that. Because it got rejected so many times in those couple of years right there, just makes you want to think that it's due to that. But anyways, he does stand 6 feet tall, so a pretty big prop. It was made by YJ Toys and Crafts, which good company, and current status unreleased. Exclusivity status, it would be a Spirit Halloween exclusive. And of course, we don't really know pricing on this guy if he were to be sold. But if he were to be sold in stores, I'd probably give a good estimate of $250 to $300. Seems like a standard price for a 6-foot multi-motion animatronic like this. Also, a couple other things about this guy. I know he is one prototype lots of people know about because another haunter out there got this animatronic, and it was part of a series that someone did last year. And of course, reading further into this, Dr. Needles was not the finalized name of this prop. It was still the working name for it, but Dr. Needles may have become the actual name of it. And also, Dr. Needles, his audio is actually placeholder audio from the animated Tombstone animatronic, which is cool. And yeah, looking through the wiki, that's really all we know about this prop. There isn't too much else to know usually about these prototypes. But now that we kind of went over lots of information about this, I just really want to talk about some cool other stuff I was able to find of this guy. So of course, right here, the photo on screen, let's check out just the concept for this prop because there's actually concept art out there of it. So this right here is the concept art for Dr. Needles, which we can notice a few differences from the actual released animatronic. Like, first of all, right here, it does look like he was supposed to have gloves on both his hands with those weird glowing fingertips. So that, of course, is a little different. Overall, it is a similar look, I have to say. You can also notice the face design is a little different. It looks like the prototype would have had glowing green eyes. When here in the prototype, it doesn't really appear that the eyes are glowing. But yeah, overall, it's really cool that there's actually concept art released of this because it shows us what the original idea was in the finalized version. So that's really cool. And another photo I was able to find of this prop, which is really cool, is it was actually planned to be in the display for the 2020 season. Of course, it never got into the final stage of putting all the props in the ISC. It was only in the concept art for it. But looking right here, you can see the concept art for the Spirit Hollows Island. And we could see Dr. Needles, who would have been right there where I believe Crouchy was, or the Butcher is either one of those props that was on that side. I want to say it was Crouchy, though. So that's cool that he was actually gonna be right there for 2020. It's sad that he got canceled. Also in this photo, something interesting I'll point out is you can see Miss Mercy there. She would have been actually in the display, which is cool. But yeah, that is Dr. Needles, a really cool prop. This video was a bit shorter, of course, because there's not too much known information about this animatronic, but I did go over everything I could find so you can know more about this prop. But anyways, that's it for episode 5 of Prototype. There are 5 more episodes to come after this until the end of the season. And maybe I'll bring this series back in the future, who knows. But after this, I will be planning to start a new series, of course, after the 10th episode. So stay tuned for that. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications because I'm having weekly uploads every Saturday of something different. Like last week, we did Moore's Costumes video, and also did a video about animatronics that want to return from Spirit Halloween. And in the past, I've done like unboxings and other stuff. And every Saturday, there's going to be a new upload, something Halloween related. So subscribe for that because every upload is honestly really cool and definitely fun to make. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next episode of Prototype, or if you want, check me out on Saturday, and I'll see you in that video. But anyways, that's it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.